This is a quick video to talk about how to solve equations. And that's what we're working on right now in 8th grade math. So the goal when we're solving equations, find the missing value. And the missing value is always denoted by a variable, okay? So the variable maybe x, maybe n, maybe y, whatever. It's not important, but it just shows they use that as because it's simpler to manipulate with. Because as the math moves along here, this is the difference between elementary math and high school and college math. Is that we want to deal with how do things happen if we don't know all our information? Okay. So the first type of problems we were dealing with was when we had addition or subtraction. Okay, add or subtract. So something like this. If we had, say, and I'll use n instead of x just because x sometimes gets confused, n plus 11 equals 40, okay? So we're really trying to figure out what value do we add to 11 to get 40, okay? Now, some people might know this intuitively. Let's look at it and kind of click it through their head and go, oh, that's probably 29. Cool. But if you don't, and that's what we're really trying to work towards, is how do we solve these when we don't know, when we can't figure it out just by looking at it? So I picked some larger. So kind of the rule here is, the overall rule when we're solving, it's kind of a cheat, is do the opposite. Do the opposite. Okay, so what do I mean by that? We look at what's happening to the variable here. What are we doing to n in our original statement here? N plus 11, so we're adding 11. So do the opposite, minus 11. Okay, now what we're doing there is we're taking 11 away. So if you do a plus 11 minus 11, that's going to be 0. So we're left with n plus 0, which is really just n. Okay, and that's what we're trying to do, is figure out what n is by itself, just n. Okay, because really the statement's telling us n plus 11 is 40. We want to know what just n is. Okay, now because it's equal, because this equal sign here, this means it balances, right? Same on both sides. So if we're going to change one side, we have to change the other side the same way. Okay, do the opposite. Do the same thing to both sides. Okay, so if I take 11 away, say 40 minus 11, 29. So hey, what I've got there is that, so n has to equal 29. So there's my solution. And I can double check. I can come back and say, okay, what's 29? N plus 11, so 29 plus 11, and if I did it right, it should be 40. Okay, so there's my check. I should always be able to do that. One of the nice things about equations, easy way to build in the check. So now the next question would be, so there's an addition one, so the next example would be, okay, let's say it was something like, negative 7 equals, and we'll go m minus 4. Okay. Now, you might be able to figure that one out in your head. Great. But we're still saying n minus 4, something minus 4 is going to get us to negative 7. What's that value have to be? Okay? And if you can figure it out, that's great, but we're talking about techniques, okay? So we're still looking at, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to look at what's happening to the variable and do the opposite. So we're doing m minus 4. So opposite of n minus 4 would be plus 4. Okay? And really by doing that, we're taking away, just like up here, we're taking away the 11. Here, we're taking away the minus 4. We're taking away plus 11 here. We're taking away minus 4 by doing the opposite, okay? We'd be left with m plus 0. Minus 4 plus 4 is just like adding 0, okay? Now, again, equation. So we have to do the same thing to both sides. Plus 4, okay? Negative 7 plus 4, okay? Negative 3. So negative 3 is the same as m. Okay? Again, we should be able to check. So I should be able to take negative 3 minus 4. Okay? I've got negative, I'm starting at, oops, let me slide that over. I'm not seeing, you can't see it. Negative 3 minus 4. Okay? See, I start at negative 3. I'm going to get 4 smaller. That means I'm going 4 away from 0. See? So if I had a little number line here to demonstrate, 0's here, 1, 2, negative 3. I go 4 more, 4, 5, 6, 7, down negative 4 gets me to negative 7. And that's what I wanted to say. Negative 3 minus 4 is, hey, negative 7. So it checks out. Okay? So that's my answer. Okay? That'll be it for this video. I'll do another one on multiplication and division in a second and send that out.